Hello everybody, so in this maths video we're going to go through some of the basic functions that we can carry out in algebra. Now you probably are pretty familiar with all these functions. We've got adding, subtracting, multiplying and dividing. In first year you would have covered all these already, but we're just going to look at some kind of harder examples of those questions using more of a higher level kind of a standard. So let's just jump straight into it. The first thing to know is that if we're adding and subtracting x terms and normal terms, we can add and subtract the x terms, we can add and subtract normal terms, we can't add x terms and normal terms, or normal terms and x terms. So if I was to solve an equation like this, or an expression like this, I had to simplify it. I'd bring the x terms together, I'd bring the constant terms together, which are just our normal numbers. And then I would try to simplify each of those. So again, the x terms can be added together, 2x plus 3x. If you got 2 of something, you add 3, you end up with 5 of that thing. So our red terms, or our x's, have been simplified now. Then our normal terms we can also simplify. So 4 take away 2 is just leaving us with 2. Same would be true if we had y's. So a question like this, where we have 3x minus 2y plus 8y plus 5x. The x terms can be added together. The y terms can be added and subtracted as well. We just need to move them next to each other. So 3x, add 5x, minus 2y plus 8y. We've written out the x terms next to each other and the y terms next to each other. So the x terms can be added. 3x's plus 5x's gives us 8x's. Again, just add the numbers in front, really. 3 plus 5 is 8. So 3x's plus 5x's would give us 8x's. And minus 2y plus 8y. Minus 2 plus 8 gives us positive 6. And then we just keep our y there as well, because we're adding and subtracting y's. At this point now, we can't add and subtract the x and y's. We just need to know that we have to leave it at that. Now we can take this to another context. Imagine we've got x squareds, we've got normal x's, we've got constants. We're able to add the x squareds. They're one type of term. The x's are another type of term, and our constants are another type of term. So we can add x squareds with x squareds, regular x's with regular x's, and constants with other constants. So if we add on a few more terms here, now we've got x squared terms, we've got x terms, we've got constant terms. So let's rearrange this. 2x squared plus 6x squared plus 3x, take away x, plus 14 plus 2. What I've done here is I've rearranged it so the x squareds are together, the normal x's are together, and then our constant terms are together. So now we can simplify 2x squareds plus 6x squareds. Just add the numbers in front. It's going to give us 8x squared. 3x, take away 1x, or take away x, as it's written here. It's going to give us 2x. If we just have an x, we can imagine the number in front of it as 1 when we need to. And then 14 add 2 is 16. So our x squared term simplified to this, our x term simplified to this, and our constant term simplified to 16. Again, at this point, we can't add and subtract x terms with x squared terms, and we can't add or subtract constants with either of those two either. So at this point, this is as simple as it's going to get. Do not fall into the trap of trying to add these together, because they're just separate. They're not like terms. They're too different. We can't add them together. Okay, for now we're just going to look at a couple more examples. One that involves multiplication. So our example is going to be 3x plus 2y in a bracket plus 3 times x minus 2y. So in this example here, right, we're probably going to have to use a bit of BIMDIS. Now, BIMDIS says to simplify brackets first, but if we look at these brackets, we've got an x and a y term here, so we can't simplify them anymore. We're not able to subtract them from each other. We've got x terms and y terms here, so again, we can't simplify them anymore. Can't add these with each other, so don't be tempted to do that. X's and y's don't mix. So we can't solve any brackets. The indices aren't here, there's no powers. So we do multiplication. Now our multiplication that we're going to do is over here. We've got a 3 outside the bracket, and if there's no sign in between, and we've got a bracket here, then it means you multiply 3 by the bracket. So with 2 terms inside and 1 term outside, we're going to multiply 3 by the first bracket, by the first term, so 3 by x and 3 by minus 2y. Let's write out the left hand side bracket the same as it was, because we don't need to do anything with that for our first step. So 3 times x is 3x, which literally means 3 times x, because there's no sign in between them, it means they're multiplied. And 3 times by minus 2y, what we can do is keep the y and multiply the two numbers. So 3 by 2 is 6, and a positive by a negative is a minus, and like we said, we're keeping the y. So minus 2y, if you think of something that's 3 times as big as minus 2y, it's going to be minus 6y. Now we can simplify because we've got like terms, so we're able to add them with each other. So let's rewrite it with our like terms together. 3x, add 3x, there's our two x terms. We've got a 2y, take away 6y, there's our two y terms. Again, x's go together, y's go together. I'm just underlining them there so you can see I've rearranged what I already had. Then 3x plus 3x is 6x. Add the numbers in front and keep the x. 2y take away 6y, well 2 take away 6 is minus 4. And then we keep our y. So our red terms, our x's have become 6x. Our y terms have simplified down to minus 4y. Again here, you don't want to be tempted to try and add or subtract your x's and y's from each other. They don't go because they're not like terms. We can only add x's with x's and y's with y's. Okay, now we're coming on to our final example. This time we've got, again, a couple of brackets. We can't simplify either of these brackets because this is an x and a normal number. Cannot add or subtract them. An x squared and a normal number, again, cannot add or subtract them. So we're going to focus on our multiplication first. So we're going to multiply 2x here by 2x and 2x by minus 1. The number on the outside by the two terms on the inside. So if we multiply 2x by 2x, easiest way of doing that is multiply the normal by the normal. So 2 by 2 is 4, and x times x is x squared. Squaring something just means you've multiplied it by itself. Then 2x times by minus 1, we can multiply the normal by the normal and just keep the x. So 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. And then, like I said, we keep that x. And then we can rewrite the whole second bracket as it is. Now, the reason why I chose this example here is because I wanted something that just has a whole bracket taken away. So let's rewrite this. 4x squared minus 2x, we can just leave alone at the moment. But if we want to take away everything in this bracket, well, we're taking away an x squared. So take away x squared, and we're taking away minus 4. If we're subtracting a minus number, that actually ends up becoming a plus, right? Minus a minus is a plus, because we are taking away x squared, and we're taking away minus 4. Handy shortcut if you just want to get through these quickly is a minus outside the bracket with no number here. Just means flip the sign of everything inside. So we flip the x squared to become a minus x squared. We flip the minus 4 to become a plus 4. Now we've multiplied out those brackets. But I can see here we have some similar terms. We've got an x squared term and another x squared term. We have one x term, we've got one constant. So we can definitely add the x squared and the x squared. Can't really do much with the x and the constant though, okay? So let's do what we can. 4x squared, take away x squared. We've got our normal x term, minus 2x, we've got a plus 4. So here's our x squared, here's our x squared, our x, and our 4. Again, you can see here it's all the same terms. I've just rearranged them. So the x squareds are next to each other. Now 4x squared take away x squared. It's going to leave us with 3x squared. Keep our minus 2x there. We're going to keep our 4. Okay.